Welcome, everybody. John Zager. Hope everyone is well and doing fine. It's kind of a windy day here in Colorado. Some clouds out. Supposed to get up into the high 60s tomorrow, and the next day after that into the low to mid 70s. So we're looking for the trend to warm back up here in Colorado. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Got a great topic today, as usual. There's just so many things we can be talking about, but wanted to comment on another thing before I start, and that's just, I've been running these podcasts a little bit long. I think I've been more recently running pretty close to 30 minutes. And I'm going to try to not do that. I'm going to try to stay at 15. I'm not going to watch a clock or anything, but I'm just going to try to keep them at 15 and see where that goes. So we'll work on that a little bit. Topic today, thinking bigger than our environment. What a great topic. What do you think that means? It's coined out of Dr. Joe's research. I'm sure most everybody listening here has read, all the books of Dr. Joe Dispenza and watched him on YouTube and watched his lectures and maybe attended a workshop or whatever it happens to be. But, he doesn't own the thing, all due respect to him. There was a long time ago, back in doing clinical psychology, I know for myself, thinking bigger than your environment also applied, although we didn't use the same words, but we were working on stress issues and how to reduce them. So, in our daily lives, we have physical stress. Stress is every day. And they don't seem to go away. I mean, there's all kinds of physical things going on that produce a little bit of stress in our lives from day to day. Emotional stress, same thing. Every single day, there's some emotional stress going on in our lives of one form or another. Those two are pretty obvious, and of course, they exist, and we deal with them every single day. The other one, I guess, in my estimation, is environmental stress. All the things that are happening to us as a result of the environment and just our daily goings-on that we encounter. And that produces a fair amount of stress. So those three are, I don't know, I guess for me those are the three that I'd rather talk about. And everybody seems to experience that stuff. The comment heard is that, we're living in a state of stress. Yes, we're living in a state of stress. And how can you become creative if the tiger is chasing you? Right? If you're being chased and you're in fight or flight, you're concerned about your body, your environment, and the time to save yourself. So if we're living in daily stress through physical, emotional, environmental things that just occur as we wander around the planet from day to day, we're constantly bombarded with that sort of thing. And in a lot of cases, we're just reacting from fight or flight, right? And in turn, what does that do based on our program? Our program says that if we're in that type of stress, right, we're probably more apt to upregulate diseased genes, sickness, ill health, that sort of thing, right? Right. And in turn, it goes on to say that over 90% of our days are just spent, entertaining the same thoughts from the day before, the week before, the month before, the year before, encountering the same stresses every single day. What we do today, we did yesterday. The way we drive to work is the same way we drove to work yesterday and the day before. The emotional stresses that we have are the same. It's kind of like we're stuck. We're just stuck in a state of stress. You have your family and family issues. Some of that's okay, but a lot of it's not. You have your work and work, stresses that come with coworkers and bosses and policies and policy changes and just all of that. You have economic stresses, the governments and the economy and the world economy and your economy, your budget, how much money you make. That's a stress. Maintaining your vehicle. Not everybody's able to buy a new car every 3 years, right? Some people are driving vehicles that are 10 years old. Some people just go out and they look for a vehicle that they can afford, which might start off at 10 years old. Food. Look at the food that we eat. Boy, there's a stress. Try to change your diet to healthy. I switched. I don't know if I mentioned this or not. I switched my diet some time ago, and I feel great. And we have a grocery store here that has a product in, I guess it's the deli area. I'm not sure what you call that. Where all the different salads and stuff are, that you can ask for containers of this, that, and the other thing. And they have a thing called superfood. It's everything green put into this salad with every nut and bean that's healthy put into the salad. Lots of kale. It's just incredible. And I don't know all the wherewithal, what it's packed with, but it's just totally good for you. And right next to it, they have grilled salmon pieces. Yeah? This is cold. It's all cold. And they're not very big, maybe 3 ounce or something. I don't know. I'm guessing they're 3 ounce. And every day between 1 and 2, I used to say 2, but I get a little hungry, so probably about 1 to 2 every day. I go in and I get a big superfood salad and a piece of salmon. That's it. That's all I eat each day. And of course, I drink water. You knew that. I, well, coffee. Actually, it's more decaf than it is coffee, but I do drink turmeric and ginger root tea. Boy, oh boy, go do some research and reading on drinking that, you guys. Whew, what a boost for the male. Takes away inflammation. Everything that's sickness caused is due to inflammation. Has to do with shrinkage of prostate and all of that kind of stuff as we get older, the guys. So for the most part, I drink water. I've been drinking water for a year. Gave up all the sugar stuff, all the teas. Turmeric and ginger tea is not got caffeine in it, and it's just so healthy. But change your diet. I changed my diet, and I love it. Eating once a day and eating the two things that I just mentioned. Having a little of that tea that I buy the turmeric root and the ginger root, and then I take little pieces of that and boil it in a kettle and make it into a tea form. The food we eat, boy, is that stressful. Stay away from canned food, frozen food, especially those two. All the fats, carbohydrates, pastas and all that, rare exceptions. But you just, you get scared of that. That's a stress. There's stresses everywhere. And it seems like, look at relationships. Just amongst people. Politics. You're either this side or that side, and if you're not on our side, I hate you. I won't let you speak, at our university. Just crazy, crazy stuff. That's stress. Turn on the TV. No, don't turn on the TV. I haven't owned it. Well, I've owned a TV briefly in the past 10 years. I might have had a TV for, I don't know, maybe 6 months of that, although I never really watched it. Boy, there's stress. You don't want to know what's going on out there. I turned it on once, and you saw pictures of, and this is on the internet, people being beheaded and burned in cages and stoned to death, and the frantic attempts to cross the border to make money and survive, and refugees and war, and boy, I got rid of that TV real quick. Actually, it fell off of a counter that I had in my Airstream, and it broke. And it was the happiest day of my life. Didn't have it very long. But again, just stress. Get in line in a store. Where was I at the other day? There's lines everywhere. I have traveled around the world a few times, and I understand that. Wherever you go in big cities, you have to wait. People aren't nice in line. Go to the health club. I'm not running into a lot of friendly people that are Good morning. How are you? How's your day? How are things going? I'm not. I'm not sensing that. Stresses of all kinds. Physical stresses. You know, the whole concept behind my podcast is self-healing, right? And it's not my program. It's everybody's program, but parts of this I did years ago, just under different names and stuff. So I'll take some of the credit in doing this. I mean, it is mine, along with all the research and everything I get from other people. But look at people's health. I've mentioned this several times, actually. Just watch people when you're wandering around. I don't know, you're going to the gas station or the grocery store, or wherever you at work or wherever you happen to be. People are not very happy. People look ill. People don't look well. People are overweight. They complain all the time. Thinking bigger than our environment. If you live in cold country, why would you talk about the cold, how cold it is? If you live in the desert, if you live in the desert, why would you talk about the high temperatures? What's the point of that? How is that allowing you to become creative? Oh my gosh, Martha, it was 118 at 2:15 today. Did you feel that? Oh gosh. If you live in the Northwest, everybody knows the Northwest, it rains. I'm going to exaggerate to make a point, but it rains every day up there. I spent, 4.5 months steelhead fishing this winter up in the Northwest along the coast, and it rained every day. It rained. The rivers were so full, they had to shut everything down because there's too much water. So our environment, thinking greater than our environment. Maybe a healthy thing to do is not talk about the temperature or the amount of rain or how cold it is here in Anchorage or wherever you live. I don't know. Here's one. Fibromyalgia. Oh, gosh. Brought it up yesterday. I forgot what I was talking about. But what a joke. What a joke. It's a neurosis. It's not a medical disease. Well, the doctors and AMA has made it a medical disease so that they can capitalize on all the money they'll make with people going to the doctors and the pharmaceutical companies coming up with some drug that's going to numb some of that for the people. Send them to a psychiatrist. Really? Give them the facts of life. And isn't that really what we're talking about? I mean, have we become really weak? Have we become so weak that we have to complain all the time? What's that sickness where people feel run down all the time? You guys know that one. I should too, but I can't pull it off the top of my head. I almost had it. Oh well, I'll think about it. Maybe I'll come up with it before we're done. But there's that illness where people feel run down for months at a time, and they require they they require time off of work and medication and doctor visits and medical treatment. Boy, you know, just giving their money away. Just giving their money away. People are not in good physical health. Just not. I went to a couple doctors, I don't know, in the last couple weeks or so. Just your annual things that you have to go in for, and I hate them. But all they wanted to do was, give you an illness. They said to one doctor, he says, "What's this one?" Well, it was 0.02 out of the norm, within normal limits. Maybe it had something to do with the food I ate that day. Oh, gosh. Stress, you guys. We live in daily stress. Want to know the craziest part about this whole conversation this morning? It's your choice. It's your choice. Now, there's an extreme that you can go to, being greater than your environment. And again, we're using the word environment to kind of reference to just, we're in a constant state of stress, fight or flight, right? So way back when, we used to prescribe distraction, diversion, and deviation, the 3 Ds, right? Go try some of that. Distract yourself, divert yourself, deviate yourself away from it's 116 degrees in Yuma. It's supposed to be 116 degrees in Yuma. Distract, divert, deviate. Right? So, we have a choice. We are so powerful. That's just, it just doesn't do any good to even talk about how much power you have. Nobody listens to it. Nobody wants to have the power. I don't get it. If you don't want the heat, don't move to the desert. If you don't want the rain, don't move to the northwest. If you do have stresses from physical, emotional, environmental, all the other things, that can produce stress and fight or flight, you got to be bigger than your environment, so to speak. You have to be bigger than the stress. Don't let yourself get physically sick. Take care of yourself. Have a good diet. Exercise. What about thinking? Isn't this whole program based on, you can think yourself sick? Why can't you think yourself well? I don't want to do that. I would have to think too much. I don't want to have to think that hard and that often. Oh, okay. Well, the bottom line is that you have the power to think bigger than your fibromyalgia. Oh, it's called chronic fatigue syndrome. I just thought of it. How many hundreds of people in my 38 years did I treat that had chronic fatigue syndrome? Go to a medical doctor and take medication, and they'll send you to all kinds of specialists. Holy moly. Think bigger than your stress. How about better thinking rather than stress and disease? Anybody ever think of that? What do you want to be sick and tired for 2 or 3 months? Doesn't it have something to do with changing your energy and changing your vibration? Helps change your state of mind, which in turn changes your thinking. You can become a different person. Your personality is your reality. So if you're moping around for 2 months, basically despondent, what do you think that's going to do to you? What are you doing that for? Why don't you go and work on your personality, how you think, act, and feel? Why don't you work on that? Instead of being despondent and requiring medication and doctors and all kinds of whatnot. You're just throwing your money away. Being bigger than your environment, bigger than your illness, bigger than your stress. I don't care what kind of stress you got. Get over it. Change your thinking. What did I hear this morning? You have 100 billion neurons in your brain, right? Yeah, 100 billion neurons. And they all make connections, right? We've gone through all this science. And there's little neurotransmitters, and they connect to each other, and then eventually they become hardwired, and you have a thought. Well, first you have a thought, and, eventually, if you have that same thought or behavior or action or whatever, it becomes hardwired. That becomes part of your personality, and, that's the kind of stuff that may or may not attract disease. Blah, 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 blah. You got 100 billion of these little neurons that are all trying to get along. And you keep getting in the way and short-circuiting these little guys with all of your crazy stresses, fight or flight. Hey, guess what? If you can't figure out your financial affairs, you'll probably figure them out after you go broke once or 2 times, right? You won't let that ever happen again. Change the neurons. Correct things. Make the connections correctly. Boy. Coffee's getting cold. Must be past 15 minutes. So, the topic today is just we need to be bigger than our stress, our daily stresses that we bring on, that we make up. We make ourselves sick, we can make ourselves well. You do that. You do that every single day. The way you're living your life today is the way you lived your life a year ago or 5 years ago. You're doing exactly the same thing over and over and over, living in a state of stress. You have made your body conditioned to those hormones, to those feelings, to those moods, to those temperaments. And are you ready for this? To that personality. Whoa. You did that. You did that. I keep referring back to The Matrix, the movie, Gosh darn it, you guys. Listen, you're living in the Matrix. You're living down the rabbit hole. And you're not willing to change it. Because the uncomfortable has become comfortable. The uncomfortable has become your norm. It's what you're used to. That's what you look forward to every single day. Am I going to be in the same mood I was in last week, you think, when you get up? Wow, thank goodness for that. I'm still not over what that person did to me. I hope this mood stays with me for 6 more months. I'm so upset. What the hell? Excuse me. So, little insight today. Food for thought. Certainly some avenues that you have the capability to change. The program. The program is so clear. There are very specific steps that if you choose to take them, become a different person. Change your thinking. Change your personality. Change your belief system. Your perception. You don't have to have disease. You don't have to be sick. You don't have to be ill. You don't need to have the flu. You don't have to have colds. You don't have to break an arm. You mentally prepare yourself for that event in your life where you break a bone. You just don't fall out of a tree. I don't think people, I really don't, and this is 40, I don't even know, maybe it's more than 43 years I've been doing this. I'm not sure. But after all these years, I've kind of come to the point where I'm not sure anybody understands how much control they have. When I end my podcasts and everything, I talk about how excited I am for today, and the whole atom idea, 99.999% possibility exists. I believe that stuff, you guys. I believe that stuff. I am excited about today. I am excited about what I do. I am. I look forward to it. I want today to be different than yesterday. I want to do better than yesterday and better than last week and better than a week ago and a month ago and a year ago and 5 years ago. But I have to do something in order for that to happen. So, anyway, I guess I'm way over my 15 minutes, and let's see, advertisements. JohnZegar.com, JohnZegar.com. That's my webpage. Please go there, read it. Just talks about me. Tells you how to put money into my PayPal account. I am self-supporting. I don't have a job. You support me, in a sense, with my research and all the stuff that I do. jzager@gmail.com is how you can put money in my PayPal account. Please do that. My blog, I do 1 to 3 blogs a day. They're great. jzager.blogspot.com. Please go there. Please go there. There's really great blogs there written every single day. Hit the Amazon button. Go buy something in Amazon. I get a little percentage back of whatever you buy. It helps support me. Thank you very much. So, God bless everybody, and I really mean that. I am having a good day, and I'm looking forward to the rest of my day. I'm excited about the stuff I get to do. I hope you guys are all well, and have a good day as well. Take care of one another, and I'll look forward to talking to you all real soon. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.